Okay, cool. So, hi everyone. I'm Ashlyn Hughes, and today we're going to be talking about my animated journey for my logo animation I created for my motion design class. And so, first to start the process off, I made all the elements and all the assets in Procreate. I drew them by hand and I used just the basic Procreate brushes. And I made sure when I made it to incorporate all my stuff onto separate layers. So if you can see in the top corner, oh, you barely can see it, there's it on my iPad, and I separated every single element. So for example, the cactus is on its own layer, the tennis ball's on its own layer, and then I made sure to label every single thing so I could go back and click the right thing and have it organized the way I want it to be. And so then I saved out my file as a PSD, and then I plopped it in After Effects, and here we are. And so I'm going to play out the animation quick so you can get an idea with what I created. Yep, so basically it is a 5-second long animation. And it didn't take too long to complete. It just took a few moments of questioning what I was doing and what my approach was. And so how I first started was I went down here, I plopped all my layers, and I started animating the sticker. And so that's this thing right here that goes in and out. And I made sure to parent the logo, and then my drop shadow I handed in Procreate, and I parented it by going here, clicking which one I wanted to parent. And then, so that way, whenever my sticker moves, the other two parts follow that same movement. And so I animated my sticker. And so the movement here is it opens from barely anything, and then it pops out, it overshoots, and then it settles back. And so the reason why it's not so linear is because I went into the graph editor so it could ease in, ease out one of the 12 principles of animation. But when I was doing this, I couldn't possibly remember how I got to the graph editor. I knew it existed, I knew there was a way, so my solution for everything is I Googled it. And so by Googling it, I figured out I select the scale because that's what I'm animating, and then I went up here to the graph editor, and then that pops out the graph editor. So this already has all the effects done that I wanted it to be, but for example, I click on my graph here on my line specifically, and I can move it and manipulate it in time. I can click on specific points, but basically, if I click on it, I can click on easy ease in, easy ease out, and that's basically what I did for all of my animation elements in this project, just because when you ease in, ease out, it just has a lot more appeal and it has more life to it. And so we ended up then with this nice pop there. So, boop. Eventually I like to add sound effects to it because I think that just sells the animation. And so after I had that popping in and out, I went on to animate the little small doodles that surround it. And so basically I organized my layers on the side to be in about the order I wanted them to appear as. So that way it wasn't a mess of me figuring out, oh, I want to do the cactus first, the paintbrush, where are they on the thing? And so first one you see pop in is this star right here. And it pops in about at 10 frames after 1 second. So here you can see the things I keyed. I keyed it being at a small scale, at it coming to a big scale, then I had it shrink a bit, and then settle to its final size. And then I also went back into the graph editor like I did before, so it's a nice rather than a, if that makes any sense. And then I basically took these keys and I just selected them all while holding Shift. I did Control C and then I Control V'd it for all the rest of my layers, so that way they had the same exact popping movement. But I made sure when I pasted them, I moved my timeline slider down a little bit, so that way everything was delayed a bit. And so then we end up with this. Boop, 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 boop. And then one more thing, one problem I did have also that I kind of forgot about was, let's go back to our star we were looking at. Back at 10 frames. I'm going to pop this down here. And if you see, when I was doing the scale, my anchor point, which is the thing right here, was actually in the middle of my canvas. So when I tried to move that anchor point, it would move my picture with it. And I didn't know how I would be able to scale it from the center of that star rather than the center of the canvas. And so, again, I Googled it. And basically what you hit is Y. So when you hit Y, you can move this anchor point around without moving the star around. So for example, if I move it back to the center where it was originally for me, I hit V to go back to my normal selection. And then if I try to scale it, it scales from the center. But I didn't want to do that, so that's why I moved it. So the anchor point was right on the star there. And so that is my animated project. It's very simple, but clean and has that appeal of the ease in, ease out, and that's what I was going for. I didn't want anything super complex, but just something as a nice simple intro to maybe a YouTube channel or something. So play it one more time to exit us out. And that's my animation. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.